This is Rhea, and this is Just the Who of Us, where we talk about a range of topics, including life events, current events, spirituality, entertainment, family relationships, as well as answering listener questions and more.
Merry day after Christmas. I hope that everyone had a happy holiday and got everything you wished for. So let's jump right into it. This episode is just going to be me because usually I would do like a fun holiday episode to post, but this year I wanted to I wanted to read something instead. So in last episode with Natia and Montavious, we talked about our religious journeys. And Natia brought up the fact that when pastors write their sermons, well, the topic of the sermon is usually accompanied by some kind of grief or some kind of struggle, rather, some kind of struggle. And so she was just, kind of like, well, why can't sermons just be praising God, thanking God for the things that He's done? And so I took those questions and I made a status about it. So I wanted to read those responses because I thought they were really, really cool responses. And plus, because I said that I'd read them on the podcast. I thought it would be fitting for today being the day after Christmas. And so here we go. So the post that made said someone recently asked me why sermons were focused on a struggle and not just praising God. In light of this question and discussion, I would like for everyone to write what God has done for them in the comments. It can be as long or short as you'd like. I'm going to take these comments and read them on a December episode to spend that time acknowledging what God has done for us in our lives. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say everybody's name on here just because, just in case. Well, you guys, most of you won't know them anyway. So, but also just to leave everybody anonymous and, respect privacy and such. First one says, God has saved my soul and allowed me to preach the gospel for Him, plant churches, author books, and launch businesses to help provide jobs. Without Him, I wouldn't know my purpose. Praise God. Have a great day. The next one says, when I lost my middle child, I thought I would never to be able to go on. I thought I would never be able to go on, but God had other plans for me. God showed me that while the pain of losing a loved one can feel overwhelming, healing is possible when we cherish their memory and hold it close to our heart. Her presence lives on in the lessons she taught me, the joy she brought to my life and those around her, and the eternal love we shared. By reflecting on those precious moments, I have found comfort and strength knowing that her influences continue to shape who I am. My grief transformed into a profound connection, allowing me to honor her legacy while finding peace in my own journey. Anonymously yours. The next one says, I believe that we're all part of the great I am or universal energy on what some call God. So it's not what the God energy does for me, but what I do for myself by understanding how universal laws work for me and how the lessons the universe provides me are are for my soul evolution. And as I am, and we all are fragments of that source energy or God, the source energy also continues to evolve. I inherently know that everything this life experience throws at me, I chose before I arrived. How I navigate the course will not just source energy, but collective energy supporting me. That's free will, and trust me, source energy or God will throw you a curveball if you don't act for your own highest good in the lesson of the experience. The next one says, last Monday was a bad day for me. A lot of emotional, personal reasons, and it was nasty out. I was crying on my way home from work, and let's be honest, probably going way too fast. My car hydroplaned and fishtailed so bad I can't believe it didn't crash. I pulled over to the side of the highway and cried more and thanked him for literally taking the wheel. The next one says, I have so many, so many. Here are a few of the top highlights. This person has really got to me because it's a lot. And, it kind of, I feel like I've been through a lot, but I've never had cancer. I've never experienced like the murder of one of my parents or the loss of a child, the things that a lot of people have experienced. And so it's easy to kind of get caught up in our own struggles and our own difficulties and kind of forget that, like, oh, this person really, really went through it. Not to ever take away from our own struggles, but sometimes it is just easy to forget that certain things could have happened to us, and by the grace of God, they did it, and to be grateful for that. The next one says, I have so many here, a few top highlights. One, when I was 18, I was involved in a major car accident on the way to Florida. A car tried to run me off the road because there wasn't enough room for him to merge. I was going 80, hit something on the side of the road. Then I got flung across 4 lanes of traffic twice. It was slammed into the wired guardrail when I finally stopped. I walked away without the slightest scratch on me. No one else was injured either. All cars were able to stop before slamming into each other. That's crazy. Number two, when I was 19, I was in a home invasion. I was at my neighbor's house, and before I went to leave, I got a feeling. I decided I didn't need to open the door, so I backed up. 2 masked men busted open the door with guns and made everyone get on the ground. Made everyone get on the ground. My phone was in my hand under my stomach, so I called 911 without them knowing. I had a gun pressed to the side of my head and thank God and asked God to please spare me. The men heard the sirens in the distance and took off out the back door and through the woods. Again, me and everyone in the house were left unharmed, minus the trauma of being scared to death. Number three, my husband had a very large tumor appeared on his upper thigh when I was 9 months pregnant with our son. We were 24. He went to the doctor a few days later after we saw it, and it confirmed to be soft tissue sarcoma. He immediately started radiation treatments, and a plan was made to try to minimize it. We were told that based on the location, he would be left sterilized. So if we wanted more children, he would need to store sperm at a fertility clinic before treatment. When he went to the store, he had no viable sperm to save, so we were told we'd have no more children. 6 months into treatment, they were able to surgically remove the tumor. It was the size of a Nerf football. I have photos if you're not squeamish and want to see. They had to remove 2 muscles around it to make sure it was completely removed. Not only did he completely recover with no limp, but 4 years later, we conceived our daughter. I know God has a purpose for her life because she is a miracle baby. Number four, last year, my dad found out he had an aneurysm in his stomach. Ooh, it was sizable, and he was told that if it burst, he would die within 2 minutes or so. Yikes. The doctors had a plan to go in surgically to block it off and isolate it. I prayed for days leading up to the surgery, worried it would be nicked and he would die. I heard God tell me it wasn't his time. He still had God's plan for his life to work through. Instant relief. My daddy's surgery went great, and he had an annual checkup last week, and the doctor said he's completely healed and has no restrictions anymore. Number five, all from the same person, mind you, who could really be defeated in life right now because this is a lot of heavy stuff. But instead of feeling defeated, she has 5 reasons to praise God. 3 weeks ago, my mom had what we now know was a seizure episode that lasted overnight, but it was different than any episode she had had. Her speech was jumbled, she was confused, couldn't answer some basic questions about herself. Carly, her sister, my sister got her to go to the hospital pretty quickly. Doctors got her in the hospital. Doctors told her they suspected mini strokes. As soon as I found out, I immediately called on a prayer team from church and got everyone praying. Within an hour, she was normal again, no longer confused. It was a complete turnaround. All MRIs came back clear. Testing was perfect. God is so good. I could go on and on, but like I said, these are the major highlights that I thank Him for quite often. The next person says, struggles are often a means to find God as God helps us find our way. We all need guidance from time to time. And that is, those are the ones that just came from a couple places on social media. Um, I just wanted to take a minute and for one to just make an episode just about praise and to take a minute to read the contributions that people so generously made to that to those posts. Um, you know, it's it's very it's very, and I'm guilty of this, it's very easy to get frustrated and get caught up in the things that happen to us. And I'm not taking anything away by any means of anything that has happened to any of you listening. Um, and I know that not everyone believes in the same God, practices the same religion, but it one person mentioned in there the universe and her energy and things like that. And whatever your religion is, whatever your belief is, I just want to say that, my religious beliefs have changed a lot back and forth over the years. Um, but I do believe that there is a God that created all this. How hands-on he is, kind of varies from person to person and what they believe God's level of interaction with us is, right? Whether he's walking right beside us or whether he's up here, he created all this for us and he's watching us. Whatever your level of belief of involvement may be, I just hope that we all can kind of take these stories and take our own phrases and our own experiences and use them to guide through life and treat each other better. We're all here for a reason, and sometimes we fall short of that reason. Sometimes we get off track. I mean, there was a time where I would rather be out drinking than be at home with my family because I wasn't happy at home. I would get in the car and open some alcoholic beverage before I even started driving and drink it while I was driving like a dumbass. I don't even really drink now. Not because I have anything against it. I think everything outside of moderation can be dangerous. So, but it's because I don't have a desire to. My life is not at the point where I need to escape. My life isn't perfect. Whose is, right? Like, no matter how much money you have, no matter what assets, whatever you have, your life isn't perfect. And if it is, you're lying to yourself. So, just to throw that out there. But, uh, yeah, I just I wanted to read those. I wanted to just talk and, my own and give my own praises because I know y'all hear my journey with religion, and it's not always about, to me, it's not even about religion. This belief system that I have, I'm learning about things and I'm discovering my own self, but I do believe that there is a God. I do believe in God. I believe that things happen that there's no way you can look at it and be like, I don't know. Like I know from life experiences and you know, the fact that all my children are here and healthy and happy, and we go through our struggles, but at the end of the day, just speaking for myself, I always have what I need. I might not always have what I want, but I always have what I need, or I always have the means to get what I want and what I need, whether I prioritize things correctly or not. I've never had any major illnesses or diseases or accidents or anything like that. I've been in a few car accidents, um, driving and being a passenger. And I mean, I got a concussion from one. One, I wasn't hurt at all. The other one, I wasn't hurt, and I was pregnant, and I had my toddler in the back seat, and we were perfectly fine. It was like a three-car thing, but we all luckily were paying attention enough to where were able to kind of avoid it. I kind of clipped the corner of a car, but that was the worst that happened because of the car in the very front being reckless, but still walked away perfectly fine, pregnant and with a toddler in the car, and everybody was okay. Um, I was in an accident where someone else was driving, and because of the condition of the roads, our car slipped and spun around and like stopped right at the medium. Didn't crash into it, stopped right at it. And we all got out and walked out of the car. She had a baby in the car too. Got out and were fine. So just crazy. All three incidents could have ended in death, realistically. So, um, I've been hospitalized before. I had an ectopic pregnancy, could have ruptured and killed me. Just a lot of things. And even not death related. I've had I have thoracic outlet syndrome, if you don't know what that is. One of my clavicle and my shoulder muscle. My clavicle and my shoulder bone shoulder blade. I don't know why that sounds weird. Anyway, clavicle and shoulder blade. Here's my clavicle, here's my shoulder blade. Artery comes through. If I lift my arm too far, they pinch the artery and cut off blood flow. So I wake up in the middle of the night and my arm feels like it's just dead. It's numb, it hurts. The blood flow is like backed up. It's crazy. Used to be the case. I prayed about it a lot. I did physical therapy. I stopped physical therapy. Um, and I prayed a lot and I'm very particular about prayer. And so, like, I don't like to ask for things, but I prayed for healing for this, and I woke up a couple times sleeping on that side where normally, if I even tried to lay on my left side, it would be writhing pain. Woke up and I had slept on my left side the whole night, and my arm did not hurt, just randomly. Uh, you know, just things like that. Um, There's things, and if you're friends with me on my personal Facebook, you see from time to time that I bitch about. I try not to overly do it. I own a business and things happen. You lose out on money sometimes and it inconveniences you if you have things budgeted in and all of a sudden they're not there anymore. And however, I've lost my income has changed uh, due to other people's budget cuts. Nothing that I've done wrong. It's just that's just business. And sometimes it's difficult. But I always have what I need. Always have what I need, and I always have room to buy what I want because I adjust my wants, you know what I mean, to make it fit my budget. My kids always have what they want, always have what they need. Uh, so it's like, and I run a business, so realistically, I could be very poor. Uh, we, you know, eh, but we have what we need, so that's a praise of mine. Just a few little things, but that's about that's about all I'm gonna list for today because I'm recording the day before Christmas Eve and I got stuff to do. So I appreciate you listening. Just a little spend time just a short post-Christmas episode to for Natia to spend a little bit of time just praising God for the things that He's done in our lives and to show our appreciation. And I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and have a very happy New Year. And I'm looking forward to what's to come 2025 on Just the Who of Us. Check us out on YouTube at Rhea Higgs, ReahHagues. You can also keep up with us on Instagram at Just the Who Podcast.